Yesterday, Hope Hicks said she plans to leave her position as White House Communications Director. Good evening, I'm Mike Riccardi.
And I'm Josh Carney. Hicks said that she lied for President Trump a day before her announcement.
On Tuesday, Hicks testified before the House Intelligence Committee in an 8-hour meeting. Hicks said that she was occasionally required to lie for the president, but says she did not lie about any matters involving Russian collusion. There was no indication whether Hicks would be subpoenaed at the time.
Hicks also came under scrutiny when it was revealed she was dating former White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter. Porter resigned after allegations of domestic abuse from his former wives. Here with us to break down the events in the past week is Talking Points analyst Dan Prager.
Thanks, guys. You know, it's been a really crazy week in Trump world. We just heard today that H.R. McMaster is going to be leaving soon. Hope Hicks is out. That's another one of Trump's big loyalists who's out of the picture now.
Well, look, I think obviously, Laura, everybody in government to some degree lies, but what you don't want to do is admit it, especially right, if you're in the Trump administration and things have been as crazy as they are and people are throwing at you Russian investigations. The last thing you want to do is admit that you lied, no matter how big or small it really is.
Absolutely, and I think this is just kind of ballooning to the fact that so many people in his inner circle are starting to leave, and that means morale is pretty low. Dan, when we look at what this connects to other issues, how are we seeing kind of this transpire when it comes to the tariff discussions?
The tariff discussions, I mean, you have seen that Donald Trump, today, if for the viewers don't know, he proposed 25% tariffs on a bunch of products, including aluminum, and it's something that everyone in his orbit hates. They really don't like it, and he actually delayed the official announcement, but it's probably going to come in the next couple of days, because all of the people around him, Tillerson, Mattis, I would assume Hicks, all said, do not do this. It's a terrible idea. You're going to start trade wars. But he's doing it anyway. And he's lost all of those people in his inner circle, all of these close friends of his. I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff that he's the loneliest guy in Washington now. He's lost Hope Hicks. He's lost Rob Porter. He's kind of losing Jeff Sessions. Everyone in his orbit has either been fired or has been rumored to be fired.
And what's that dynamic between the people who are staying and those that are, kind of leaving? But then there's also the group in between them where it's like they're forced to stay because it's almost toxic leaving an environment like that.
Exactly. The job market out there, if your resume says, I worked in the Trump White House, it's really hard to get a job. Remember Sean Spicer? Still doesn't have a job. And he was a huge figure in politics for years. I mean, it is really toxic, and people know that. They don't want to leave. Morale is incredibly low. You have the Obama and Bush holdovers, and you have the new Trump people who just can't leave. People don't really want to do anything. It's all incredibly disorganized, and the guy who actually organized everything for Trump and made sure that all of the messages could come out? Rob Porter. And he's gone too. So really, the entire administration's in chaos right now.
Well, the only person I can think of that is out of the Trump White House that was able to find a job was Omarosa on Celebrity Big Brother. But Dan, when we look at, you talked about H.R. McMaster earlier. Obviously, the Trump administration is looking for a replacement. Do you think that is where maybe they could find a friend for President Trump, considering that so many have left?
Very possibly. The leading candidate right now, the only name that's really been mentioned is Stephen Biegun. He's working for Ford right now. He was a big national security guy under the Bush administration with Condi Rice. Really, I think right now that he's not as much a Trump friend as a smart guy who could really kind of push a more traditional Republican.
Well, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait to find out. Obviously, things have been crazy in Trump world the last couple of days. Dan, thanks so much for joining.